I'm just gonna make sure I can find it. Alright, just making sure that we got some people trickling in. Where's the videos? They had me make a change, so I want to make sure that it's showing up. They're having it broadcast from the page itself and not in the group. And then it has to get shared to the group. So I've got somebody sharing it for me.
Okay.
Looks like Jamie found us, David found us, Raymond found us. All right, cool. It looks like we're
on.
Yeah, all right. I just found it too, so perfect.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah. So, anyways, welcome back, everybody. It's going to be constant, artist after artist after artist for the next, 6-7 hours. So we're gonna have a lot of fun for the rest of the day. Today, or just now, we've got another very talented artist from the UK with us.
Hello.
And I've always gone back and forth with your name. I've said Carolyn, Caroline. Can you?
Carolyn, yeah, that's
Carolyn. Right. Okay, perfect. So yeah, we've got the very talented Carolyn Craggs with us. And do you want to tell us a little bit more about yourself? A little bit of your background with art, and then what was the first set you worked on with Tops?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a self-taught artist. I'm not an artist full time. I'm actually an attorney. I think you would probably say in America. That's the right word. So that's my day job, but this is a second job to me, really. So I'm just purely self-taught. I actually didn't do any art at all from leaving high school up until about maybe 5, 6 years ago, and I just decided to start again. I don't really know why. I got bored one night. I just decided to start drawing again, and it went from there. And it was actually Matt Applegate, who's another Tops artist who I'm sure everybody's heard of, who's a really, really nice guy as well. He's a good friend of mine. He recommended that I contact Tops and submit some samples. So I did that, and I ended up working on the first release for The Last Jedi, and that was the first Top set that I did. So that's a couple of years ago now, at least.
Yeah, it's certainly been a little while, and I mean, Matt Applegate is a phenomenal artist as well. And it seems to be a pretty common trend that a lot of the artists they happen to bump into somebody who who's already working for Tops or recently did some sets, and so that's pretty cool. How did you guys bump into each other?
We met on Instagram. Just must have caught each other on hashtags that were similar that we were using, and it was pure chance. Either I liked something that Matt had done, or he liked something that I had done, and we started following each other and just chatting. And it was actually just because I think more because of Matt is got an interest in WWE, and we started chatting about that and about Star Wars as well. And I think Matt and I had a conversation about Ric Flair, who whose daughter Ashley is a friend of mine. So I started having this rapport with Matt, and we just hit it off. We liked a lot of the same things, and we just got on really well. And I just thought he was obviously an amazing artist as well. So
Yeah, very very cool. So I mean, yeah, Last Jedi. I think you said Series 1 was it?
yeah.
It was quite a long time ago. There's been a lot of sets since. Do you remember how many you've done since?
Oh gosh, I really don't know. I think there's not many Star Wars sets that I haven't done since I first took on that Last Jedi set. There might have been maybe 4 or 5 sets that I haven't got involved with at the very most. But all the major ones I think I've been involved in. I didn't
Okay.
do Women of Steel, which was the last one I think that came out. So
Oh, you didn't do that one?
no, it's just work schedule. Just my
Oh,
day
yeah.
job is, and I have to try and balance commitments with that, and then with this and other things. So yeah, just
Right.
life really, isn't it?
Well, so I mean, it sounds like you're pretty busy outside of just drawing and stuff.
Mm.
Do you typically take the minimum around 30 when you do a set, or do you take more than that?
I used to take 30, and I think it was even 40 when I first started. But now it's about 20. Just because I would really struggle to find the time to do any more than that. So I'm quite limited in what I do, just because of other things, not just because of day job, but just I've got other things that I'm interested in inside the art world
Mm-hmm.
that I'm committed to with deadlines, which outside of sketch cards. So I'm needing to make sure that my time is divided up so I don't miss deadlines. But it's just how it is, isn't it? It's you've got to, you can't let people down.
Right, right, absolutely. Yeah, so I mean it's harder to get some of your stuff, even though you're working on a lot of sets. It's harder to get some of your stuff because you're not doing a ton of cards. Um,
Hmm.
so that's it's cool, and I know I've seen a handful of them pop up. Um, I don't think I've ever pulled one though in one of the case breaks. So that's we'll hopefully we'll change that soon. Uh,
Yeah.
Last shot, it was a couple years ago, and you've done a lot of them since, even the recent ones. How has your style and your artwork progressed or changed since you first started with tops to now?
It's mine has definitely progressed because I've started to use different mediums. So whereas before I purely started out doing pencil work, coloured pencil, I've now started doing paint and acrylic work, airbrushing. Um, Sometimes more because of the speed at which that allows me to produce the cards. But it's also because I think just a personal preference for the finish of what I'm really looking for. So I tend to overlap that into the work that I'm doing on a larger scale. So I do enjoy painting more than I would drawing with coloured pencils. That's preferably my niche, but because it takes so long, I wouldn't want to do that on sketch cards all the time. So I sometimes will, if I've got plenty of time, then I'll set aside maybe the artist's proofs and I'll keep those for paint work rather than pencil for the set, just because I want to have something in paint which I really like. So it's really come on, and a large part of that as well is because you're encouraged by the other artists. You see some people are amazing with coloured pencils, and to look at the work, it looks like paint rather than pencil work. And it's really, really just stunning. Really, there's such a broad talent in that group, and everyone's style is so different. Um, I tend towards realism because I always have. That's what I'm interested in, and that's probably where my forte lies. But I do think it's a shame that they don't have the variation like they used to, where people can produce, more concept work of their own stuff, because I think
Yeah.
that would just challenge the market a little bit more, and even for people like me who do realism, it would set the bar that little bit higher for us, and it just pushes you as an artist to meet those demands, and it's fun for the collectors as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
we've
as you know,
I was gonna say
that
we've
now.
we've had some of the collectors on who really enjoy that style that you're referring to, um,
Yeah,
and I know that they kind of put a stop to that a few years ago. Um,
right.
but yeah, I mean all the stuff that you guys are putting out these days too is still phenomenal. I've got one here I was gonna pull out. I'm trying to remember to grab these when you guys are all on. So this one is a black and white Empire Strikes Back. I think people are probably realizing that's most of what I have. Um,
Hey
but
there, cool.
this was one of your artist Bruce. What kind of mediums were you using on this one?
I think that was airbrush and some ink work and a bit of pencil, I think. Probably largely airbrush. I tend to do airbrush as a base and then just layer it up with either pencil or ink, depending on what it looks like. So, oh, how fun! I remember that.
Yeah, actually, I've been asking people, recently, like, I'm sure you've done a ton of cards and you can't recite them all, but when you see them, do you remember working on them?
Yeah, yeah, because I always like I always like my work better in sketch form. I really and I think that's true for a lot of things that I see, not just my own things, but work of other artists. I love to see concept art, so that's if I see something how it's planned out and how it develops, that's really interesting to me. And I try and keep pictures of the cards as I do them in stages. I don't think I've ever really posted any for the top swans because we can't until they're released. But
Yeah.
sometimes I'll find that I've got pictures on my iPhone of the cards.
Do you have
The
any of
sketch.
this one?
I might do. I'm going to have a look. Yeah, I'm going to have to have a
Or
look.
that Zori? I'd love to see if you do. That'd be really cool.
Yes,
Um, Kevin's asking, do you have a favorite character that you like to draw? Oh,
see if I can.
I'm glad I claimed that already, so nobody can grab it now that you're showing it. So what's that one done? I know you said you're doing some different stuff these
That,
days compared to before.
yeah, that is airbrush and color pencil.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite character that you like to draw?
I love Leia. I love drawing Leia. And I know she's a hard one because I think Lucasfilm have been quite tight on likeness for her after Carrie passed away. So it's always a bit of a hesitant move, really, because you think, do I draw this character because is it going to pass? Because I've seen some really good layers rejected, and we've talked about that as artists, where sometimes we can't understand the selection process that tops go through. Seen some amazing cards rejected for what reason we don't know.
Hmm.
I think I had a layer rejected, and I'll never understand why. But she is my favourite because she's my favourite Star Wars character as well. So
Oh, okay.
I would love to draw more of her. I've got a print that I did I think that's available.
Oh yeah, very nice. The I was gonna say, do they notify you guys when some of your cards get rejected? Because I feel like I've heard
No.
it both ways. Like you just said that you knew that one got rejected, and other people have said they have no idea if they pass or not.
The only reason that I would know is because if I've asked for it as an artist proof and it didn't get returned to me, and I know that it got
Mm.
rejected, and they'll replace it with something else, which sometimes you might think it's not really the card that I wanted, but never mind. So that's the only way. If you ask, they'll just say it got rejected, and they don't. I don't
Oh.
think totally know. I think it's more Lucasfilm make the decision.
Oh,
Um,
okay, that makes sense. Matt Applegate
so
is actually he's in the feed right now commenting. I don't know if he was here earlier, but we were just talking about you, Matt, at the beginning of the video. Brian is actually saying he's got a Leia of yours. It's the one where
already.
Tarkin grabs her chin.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh, I love that card. Yeah, yeah.
um, I was gonna say I would imagine if you remember the cards. Do you remember like where you were when you were working on them and stuff like that? Did they bring back any sort of memories?
Yeah, I'm always in this room. To be quite, I'm always at this desk. This is the HQ. So this is where everything. This room is. I can't probably show you everything, but it is just like Walt Disney threw up in here. So
Well,
it
hey,
is
there's nothing wrong with that. I think we all love
nothing.
Disney.
I mean, yeah, I feel like if someone has a problem with that, then they need to look at themselves. But yeah,
They're missing out on a lot of joy in their life then. Um,
yeah.
Now, do you have some other stuff that you can show us? I'd love to see the Zori again, but sorry guys, that one is taken. That one's not available.
She's gone. What, Star Wars stuff or just anything or?
Yeah, any of your artwork. Just stuff to show off some of your style.
Nice, got a nice Ahsoka there.
Oh
It's
yeah,
nice.
2019 masterwork.
Yeah, yeah, she's a nice one. I've got two Ahsokas actually. Another one.
Oh yeah, it's a really nice one too. I think I remember seeing that from like Skywalker Saga or something.
Uh,
I know a
nice.
lot of artists have talked about the masterwork thickness of the card and how it lets them do different stuff than most of the other
Yeah.
ones. While you're kind of showing us some of them, do you want to tell us a little bit about like the differences between the cardstock for you?
Yeah, so sometimes it's not just the thickness, but it's the type of like the type of paper or card that's actually used. So masterwork is quite it's quite a smooth surface. So sometimes that doesn't work so well for some people or a lot of people, I think, with using pencil because they tend to find that the grain of the card doesn't catch the pencil itself. So if you were to look under a microscope at the surface of the paper, it's probably quite, it's not flat. It's got a grain to it, which when you draw with pencil, that's where you can really layer up with the pencil to create that depth or not as you might want it to be. And masterwork can be a little bit tricky. So with the masterwork cards, I used a lot of airbrushing and acrylic just to prevent that from happening. So pencil work on them tended to be quite minimal, which is what I use a similar stock for my own personal sketch cards as well, just because I like that feel of the card being a bit more resilient than the thinner card stock might be. But the beauty of the thinner card stock is that you can probably get a better effect if you're a pencil artist. You can get you can get that to work better for you. But to be honest with you, I think if you're able to paint or draw whatever it is that your preferred medium is, and you can refine that to suit your style, then you can adapt it to any card stock. You see, some of the artists who only paint and they do it, spot on every time.
Yeah, what I think is cool though is that you can do both. You can go back and forth and use all sorts of mediums. Um, did you have some other stuff that might be available? I know both those Ahsokas are still available, correct?
They are still there. Yeah, I've got a few. There's a fin. And this one, it looks so strange when it's a mirror image on this video, but yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know it's usually backwards unless you can
You-
use the backwards
yeah,
camera, but that looks
yeah,
right from Empire Strikes Back. It
yeah,
looks
that's the
looks
one.
fantastic.
That's the other one. And these are more just of my own work that I've done.
Oh yeah. Now is that a print or is that an
That's
original piece?
yeah, I have the original still for that one, but I don't think I'll ever sell it. I like it too much. This is actually a print of a painting that I did last year, I think. So the original painting is down here. If you can see that.
Yeah, so that's the original.
That's the original
That's so
painting.
creepy though. It looks amazing. What did you do with that one? Was that paint or was that
Yeah, that's acrylic paint.
okay?
So that's purely paint. I'm trying to be more of a painter than I would be a pencil artist, just because I want to make sure that I'm leveling out both sides of the mediums that I typically use, which would be paint or pencil. So I'm trying to paint more.
Yeah.
I've got a ton of canvases behind me, which are just unfinished, half completed work. it's just the time it takes with painting. That's the only shame for me, is that if it was my full-time job, I could do more than I do right now. But I've got a Mars Attacks one here, which is half finished.
Half finished. I mean, it already looks so good. Somebody was asking who your favorite character was. I know we kind of touched on it. I think you said Leia, correct?
Yeah, I love Leia. I love Han as well, and I just like that whole story between the two of them. They are probably my two favourite characters. I love R2 as well. He's a favourite of mine. He's got the humour, hasn't he? Cheeky.
I'm not sure what Jamie's asking. He just keeps saying Pennywise. I know you brought that up. I don't know if he's asking to show it again, but I am going to pull up your booth here real quick as we get ready to wrap up.
All right.
Oliver was saying it looks real. I don't know which one he was talking to, but all of these look. The Pennywise looks ridiculous. All right. Okay, so I've got my screen pulled up with your booth. Commissions. You say you're open for commissions, yes?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
And you take cards. You take bigger stuff as well.
Yeah. I take for on commissions. I've got blank comic covers. I've got an absolute stack of blank comic covers, I've done a few, not many. But it's the time of trying to get those finished. I do have a really nice Rogue One comic that I finished a couple of years ago, actually, but I haven't got it to hand. So I've got a stack of blank comics, my own personal cardstock. I've got a few licensed blanks, none of Star Wars, but DC and Alien 3 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is strange. I don't know how big that is. I don't know how many people follow that. I think it's cool, but
yeah, I was gonna say I think a lot of people, certainly have other things that they enjoy and collect as well. I pulled up over Pennywise and the Han and Leia kissing scene. Were these are available in prints?
Yeah, those are prints. So those ones are the prints. I think there's maybe about 10 of them altogether, and then there's sketch cards on the booth.
What's going on with my computer? There we go. Okay. Yeah. So I see some of the other ones here too. Some of my stuff that might give my 2-year-old some nightmares.
I thought you were going to say no, because I do love horror, as you can probably tell.
Yeah, it looks amazing. It definitely looks amazing. Ooh, Baby Yoda. I know you're not going to be able to see some of this.
Yeah, Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda, Thanos, Wicket, Harry Potter. Here's all your APs that you have available. Let's see what else. Some more APs. I know this Chewie with the goggles is gone. Jot was here just a few minutes ago, and I know he snatched that up. Zori's gone. Zori's mine.
Yeah, Zori's gone, everyone.
That's a cool shot of Han and Chewie from Solo. Stranger Things. So you do some other sets as well.
Stranger Things. I love that. I was in the Stranger Things official art book, which was released last year, which was really cool. Totally surprised to be even selected for that, because there's about, I don't know, maybe 150 people in that book who have produced amazing artwork.
Mm-hmm. And was that the one that I think did Ingrid put that together?
It's a Netflix one. It's an official Netflix.
Okay.
And I was just genuinely surprised, because there were so many people entered, and I was in two minds as to whether or not to submit anything in the end, and I really just couldn't believe I got in. yeah, so that goes nicely with the cards. I do have a prints of the artwork that I did for that as well.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say. George is saying something about Salacious. Oh, Salacious Crumb from Galactic Files. Yeah, that is a really good one. I actually didn't
Yeah,
notice that
I
one.
love I love him.
Let's see. There's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mm.
Rick and Morty. Here's some that looks like it's your own personal card stock. We got a
Yeah,
Mike Wazowski on here. Olaf. Very, very
yeah,
cool. Uh,
yeah.
so yeah, I mean some really, really, really amazing stuff. I think the personal card stock is cool when it's got your own stuff. Oh, hold on. Let me switch you back to the main screen.
Yeah.
Um,
These are
there you are.
the cards.
So yeah, I mean a wide range of stuff. I mean obviously we're all here for Star Wars, but I know a lot of us have other interests, and you can certainly, certainly make anyone's vision come true with that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
but anyways, we gotta wrap this one up. We've got a panel coming up here for the next hour. So if we do bleed into it,
Oh,
that's okay. Um, but yeah, hey, I really appreciate you coming on. It was great to meet you. I know we've talked in the past, about APs and stuff.
mhm.
So it was great to meet you. And I think somebody commented, it's great to put names and or faces and
Cool.
voices to names and the text that we see on the phones all the time. Um, so, did you have anything else you wanted to say to everybody before I do my little spiel?
Just to say thank you to everybody who's supported not just me but the other artists, the Tops artists. It is so appreciated. I can't even tell you that. You know, for me, I love doing this work because I get to work on some really cool properties which have been so special to me growing up, and to be doing that when I'm in my 30s is just like amazing. But we do so appreciate it that people can have our artwork in their own homes and hopefully treasure what we've spent time on. And it's important for everyone to understand that what's art to one person isn't necessarily art to the next one, but that's what makes it fun, and that's what art is, isn't it? So we really do want to say thank you to the collectors for that, and I'm sure the other Tops artists don't mind me saying that on their behalf.
Yeah, no, I think it's been a pretty common theme, and considering the fact that you're doing a lot of other stuff, you're working in other art, areas and working, your job, and the fact that you spend your time doing this for something that we all enjoy, I think it certainly means a lot to us. And I think it definitely, says a lot about, the time and the care that you put into the cards. It's not for the money; it's for the fun of it, and your love for Star Wars, which is very obvious, in your artwork. So, for anybody who hasn't already done so, please make sure to go over to the event page in the TSWCCT event tab. The entire event is devoted to the artists and their booths. So make sure to scroll all the way down to the bottom. As you're not going to be scrolling through 5,000, posts like the main group. You're only going to be scrolling through 35, 40 artists. Check out all their stuff. You're going to see a ton of amazing artwork. Scroll all the way to the bottom and go back. And if you can't purchase anything, at least drop a couple comments on some artwork that you're enjoying, because I know it means a lot to them, and they've certainly mentioned that every time. So. But if you can purchase something, definitely encourage you to do so. Go check out Carolyn's booth. She's got a lot of really great stuff there. If you buy anything from her or any of the artists, they're keeping track of the number of items that you buy. It doesn't matter how much you spend. You go buy a print, you go buy a commission, you buy an original art piece. They're keeping track of that, and you're going to get entered to win a lot of great stuff tomorrow. So definitely do that. And yeah, we'll be back here in a few minutes with a panel. We've got a few artists on, and a couple other admins are probably going to be hopping on as well. So, thank you again for joining us, Carolyn. It was great to talk to you. Have a
You
great
too.
rest of your day. Thank you, and we will. I'm sure we'll be bumping into each other again soon because I got to get that Zori from you. So,
Yes, of course, of course.
all right, have a good one.
Bye, bye, everyone.